Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. There really shouldn't be any lag. The screens are already set up. Yeah, I just this it's maybe the third time I've done this before the show. I don't know how to act right now without setting things up in the beginning of the show. So what's up to everybody? Smash the like button. It helps the channel. Great to see Arden. How's it going? Glad you made it. Good to see folks on a Friday. Oh, one to go to. Glad you made it. Good to see you. Because while there is something scheduled on the Quite Frankly channel, that's not live. That's you saw that last Saturday. That was the show that was exclusively on Rumble and Pilled. Pardon me. Uh Yeah, so if you were around last Saturday, 20 a week ago, you already saw that. What's up, King 40? Glad you made it. King 40 kind of went ham on one of the Frank's recent guests, so now he's got this whole thing going on with his own shirt. We saw that on the Thursday show. What's up, Molly World? Glad you made it. Good to see everybody. Because I would miss you guys too much if I wasn't live. So, pardon me, I watched my last show back. While I was personally sweating balls, it really didn't show up too badly. So, yeah, let me just sort of forget about that. It's not bad in here. It's really not. It's under 80, and it's actually kind of cold outside, but it's kind of humid. I guess we're supposed to get rain, so it's in one of those areas temperature wise. Just a little bit weird spring weather. Oh, Lisa Gray, glad you made it. Yeah, Grandpa King. Yeah, King, I don't think you're old enough to be her grandpa because she's like I'm not calling her old, but you're only like what, 55? Come on now. Yeah, so what do you guys usually do on a Friday at 7 p.m.? Oh, let me just kind of break into it. Otherwise, I'll just be sort of tiptoeing around what I want to say. Because what happened, if you were here last Saturday, which most of you are, I've got a solid crew of regulars. We were all here, and at the time I said, yeah, coming up, it's just a regular Frankly week. Plus we had that Saturday show to go to, so I was a half an hour early for my last Saturday show. But you wouldn't really know that now. It doesn't matter, but it mattered a week ago. What's up, Jen Rogers? Glad you made it. And honestly, ever since I brought up June 13th, probably back at the end of May, I had a feeling about it. Not just because four is my unlucky number, but I just had a feeling. But sometimes I don't know if that's just my intuition. I don't know if that's just my Virgo ascendant making me worry when I know I shouldn't. I don't want people to be worried about things that probably will not happen, so I kept it to myself, even though I noticed it. So I did my whole show on Saturday, and I thought we were just going to go to Frank's Saturday show, have a regular week after that. No, right away. Actually, not right away. It was kind of at the end of that show when Frank mentioned that, oh, what's up? We owe you Bill Cooper over on Twitch. At the very end of that show, which ended up being like around an hour and a half, so I'm glad it went longer than an hour. Moon Bunny, what's up? Frank is not live right now. That's the show from last Saturday. So you've already seen that. That's why I was live last Saturday, half an hour early, so we could go see that live. That's what that is. That's in the past. Good episode, good episode. But it's not live. We did that. If, Frank got to the end of that episode and mentioned how on June 13th he was going to be off, meaning why we're here now. And it's like literally the last thing I wrote down from the Saturday show. So it's if I would have looked at quite frankly .tv while I was live, I would have known that at the time. Kind of glad I didn't. I'm glad I could watch that episode back knowing not knowing what I know now, having not gone through this last week. But I'll jump right into it. That last Saturday show on Rumble, it was kind of a fight just because I have the Rumble app on my TV. It's not the YouTube app, so it gets a little bit slow at times, but it figured it out. What you do is if you have more than one device, do this. If my TV is acting up, if it's acting slow, I'll just pull out the phone and start going to the same place. And then it realizes, oh, I got to get my shit together. Hold on, let me go. It's like, yeah, I scared your ass, didn't I? So like I started to open it up on the laptop and then the TV got it together. So I was in Frank's chat room on Twitch talking the whole time. And there were a few other people in there. We had a total of four, at the most three at one time. So it did feel the fact that it was just Frank and Anthony interviewing somebody, and Pyretta was there, and just a few people in the chat room. It felt very Ustream. It felt very like we were just sucked back in time 10 years, but somehow I'm speaking to people I didn't know 10 years ago. So that was odd. That part of it was a good sensation. Moon Bunny said I was out of town last weekend and haven't caught up yet. Okay, that's all right. I just sort of my last show I caught up 2 weeks, and then this show is just gonna be 1 week. Lisa Gray, it's another Friday 13th, and I wasn't going to be in a vehicle. Oh, yeah, two separate accidents on Friday the 13th in my past. Where am I? And our truck picking up a cement mixer to tow for my neighbor down the road. Screw him. He can pick up his own stuff. If I'm picking up the mixer, I get to eat the first bowl of cement. You son of a. That's really good of you though to be out and about. Drive safe. You're being a good neighbor. I hope it's not for Earl, the one who keeps backing up into her driveway. It's Alaska. You've got room. Like if you think there's room in Texas, then there's Alaska. It's cold. It's Texas but cold all the time. It seems to be. Plus bears. That's YouTube. Don't mind that. That's the premiere. That's something you've seen before. Dandy, what's up? Glad you made it. Dandy, yeah, they're coming to get you, Barbara. I remember that line. Can't recall what movie it's from. Something from the 80s. But it was that Saturday show. It was very, at least on Twitch, because it was a smaller room. Oh, brother, so glad you made it. Said we're smoking out on the balcony, fam. Damn straight. That's where I'm going to be right after the show. Just Frank and Anthony and again, Pyretta. And just them asking questions. There was talking to this guy. He was this guy. They keep bringing him up over the years. Frank will mention they've showed clips of it before. This dude who ate a light bulb. It's funny because the last two shows I've done, my light bulb is blown out right before I went live. So there I am, like untwisting it while it's hot, chucking it out. Like I don't know why they're burning out so fast, but oh brother, so you're looking cute as all get out, kiddo. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. I know I'm losing weight because my pants fit and they're not very, I washed them and they're not very tight. So I know I'm not 105. I got to be less than that. One to go to over on Twitch. What's up? Said, here we go too. Glad I made it here too. Nice. Yeah, Night of the Living Dead, Dandy. Yeah, thank you. I haven't seen a lot of zombie media as much as I bring up The Walking Dead and Daryl Dixon and unfortunately Fear the Walking Dead. It's not my general thing. I mean, I do stand by Shaun of the Dead and 28 Days Later. Um, I guess I've seen Night of the Living Dead. I just don't remember it. Cool. Good to see everybody. But yeah, this was a fella who he's got the world record for eating a like a regular ass just light bulb. Like you get an idea, a light bulb pops up over your head. He will eat it. The fella. See, now this is we're getting into a problem here. Too many of these guests have Williams for the last name, so now they're all just jumbled together, and I can't tell anybody apart. But this guy is R.J. Williams. Uh, I swore I wrote down his first name. Robert, maybe? He's a Gemini because right when I was wondering like, wow, how does this guy smooth talk and get through this and be so chill? Like right when I was thinking that, either Frank asked or a dude brought it up and he said his birthday was June 5th, and Frank's like, oh well, happy birthday. So yeah, Gemini. Um, But they showed the clip of him eating the light bulb, world record, 34.5 seconds. But Frank said he's like, hey, I didn't even hit stop until I was sure you were done, so it's less than that. So whatever it is, it's less than that. I think it's really like 33 point something. But as far as we know, he does have the world record. This guy is such a good interview as far because I assume somebody who's been in trouble with the law. I don't know if there's like legally things you can't bring up after the fact. Like I don't know if there's like NDAs involved. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't get in trouble like that. So I was surprised how much detail he was allowed to give us. And he wasn't doing the whole, well, oh, I can't tell you that because this. Oh, well, I can't tell you that because that. Like, we didn't get any of that. It was very forthcoming, very honest. It was not, like I got it over on all these people. It was more like of a, like, just doing it because he could. Like, hey, I'm just bored and this is just what I feel like doing. It's right there. The doors are open, right to know. So it was never anything. He was never out to hurt anybody. Like, there's no weapons involved. It was honestly like, dude, just like walking in casual, writing a note, slipping it to the person, getting his withdrawal, and just taking off. And that was it. So it was not um it was it just looked totally natural. That's why I got away with it, because he just looked like he was just doing what anybody else did, just walking in, taking out your money, walking back out. He wasn't like running out with it. He didn't have like the sack with the dollar sign on it. It was not like a cartoon at all. The more he spoke about it, the more somebody should take as much as they can of his story and write it into a script. Like somebody honest to the gods needs to make this into a biography about this dude. It like it's like when you go to watch a movie and you're like, wow, this would be cool if it happened to somebody in real life, and then it gets to the credits and it's like based on a true story, and you're like, it happened to somebody in real life. It's that kind of story. So really interesting. And he's just describing the process. He goes to like some places, sort of, this was in New York, so like he goes up to Brooklyn, he does some in Manhattan, he goes to like a few of the other bureaus. He even did a couple of places more than once, which if you know Futurama very well, Bender, spoilers for Futurama, Bender had in the past come across this other robot. I think his name was Roberto, but this dude was just kind of like psycho. So he was just always doing crimes, getting locked up, and then just doing crimes, getting locked up. So he was arrested for bank robbery, got out, robbed the same bank again, got out, and Bender's, or maybe Fry, one of them asked them about robbing like you hit up the same bank twice. And his response is like, oh, that first time was just to rob it a little. That's literally what this man did. Like he hit up the a couple of the same places twice. It's the Futurama joke in real life. Now I wonder when that Futurama episode came out versus when he was doing this in 2012. I want to know which came first. Probably Futurama. But it's so funny to see something just random from a cartoon and then somebody does it in real life. I don't even know if he's seen that episode. It'd be crazy if he didn't. But the guy gets arrested and he's in the papers and it's like light bulb eating world record guy gets caught. You know that they have their like clever little title. And so Frank's like, wait a minute, they mentioned the world record in that article. Did they mention what show you were on when you made that world record? And the guy's like, no, or the interviewer didn't ask him or something like that. Frank's like, damn it, why aren't they talking about us? I feel him on that. Like, why, like you got so close, you could have just mentioned the show. They could have just mentioned Zadal's in New York, but I don't know why they didn't. Love that moment. Pyretta is so adorable. I've said it before. Get you someone who looks at you the way Pyretta looks at Anthony. If your hands are just out and not, even if you're holding a phone, she looks for hands. She will look for your hands because she doesn't understand why you're not petting her. You can just tell she just loves all of the affection. So if you wonder why she's always looking around at stuff, she's looking for your hands. She'd be a good magician because you probably couldn't get one over on her. John Rogers, Futurama was a good show. It is damn good. Oh, Brother Zoe, yeah, he said he's healing up nicely. Yeah, he just had to have I don't know which shoulder, but he had to do the you've seen Terminator 2, so he had to have an arm done like that. Yeah, so like don't arm wrestle this man because you will lose. Yeah, Pyrette is a sweetheart. She is so adorable. And then she'll be in Anthony's shot. Then at one point she just left. And I'm like, she's probably going over to Frank. And that's what she did. She just hopped up in Frank's lap. And so she was getting petted and it was so cute. But then she has the most adorable face because then she'll just stop and look and just like the way her eyes look when she looks up, it's so cute. But she's just looking straight up at Frank, like, "Why aren't you petting me?" Because his hand was on the mouse, and he should have been petting. Everybody should be petting Pyretta all of the time. She's so adorable. It was breaking my heart. Brothers O'Ballon socket total rebuild. So that's like the up here. That's not the elbow. I was gonna make a jerking off joke, but okay. I mean, damn, if you're getting your shoulder into it, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a guy. All right. So I was trying to speculate about what, because he made a big deal about he only wrote 3 or maybe 4 lines on like a deposit slip. They probably don't do that anymore. But he only wrote 4 lines on there, and he could only tell us 2 of them. But I was just trying to figure out what they could have been. So I said, I don't know why it rhymed, but I said, give me the money or I'll tell everyone you're gay. Have a nice day. Mind you, this was 2012, so if you were outing people back then, it was a little bit more of a big deal. But this is why I respect the hell out of this man because the dude did get caught. He was just like too smooth, too casual, not making eye contact with the cops. And that's how they knew. So, like, oh, it's probably this guy who's, playing it cool. So he gets arrested. You go to jail, you get your phone call. And he gets to like actual like lockup. You get your one phone call. Who does he call? He doesn't call his family. He doesn't call his friends. He didn't call his baby mama. He's a magician. He's like before he was a bank robber, and I'm sure he still is. Like that's his profession is a magician. So he called another magician friend to let him know to cover his act because he was going to be locked up because the show must go on. Respect the hell out of him for that. You get one phone call and he just wanted to make sure everybody else was going to have a good time. That was 13 years ago. Another world record he has is he wasn't six. I don't know if it was successful or not, but he hit up 3 banks within 30 minutes. Apparently, that's also a world record. I don't know how to look this stuff up. The only world records I really follow are Super Mario Brothers. Apparently, there was a new one in Lost Worlds, and Niftski already beat it. So yeah, he was doing the bank robbery speed run, any percent. They got him on 11 banks. I guess that's not all of them. That's the one time when he was kind of smiling just a little bit. It kind of reminded me of, of course, this is a bad. Don't do this, but it's like when serial killers get caught and they don't find all their victims. He was kind of like smirking like that, like, haha, they didn't even catch me for all of them. So more power to her for that. But it was good. I thought it was going to end after an hour, and I was kind of like, just like, oh, this is so good. Keep asking him questions. But it didn't. It went on. I had to be about an hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes. It kept on going. There's still more stuff to ask him. It was so entertaining. And Pyretta was there. I know I keep bringing that up. We just don't get to see her that much. I love that cat. It was the best show all week. I wish he would have been on a regular episode of Quite Frankly for the full 2 hours. So, like let more people call in or like super chat questions, stuff like that, or even take a voicemail questions. Because I'm sure people want to know, as much as they can. The dude's not gonna like snitch himself out and tell people everything he wrote in this note because he worded it in such a way that, well, like he wasn't threatening violence or anything like that. He played it very smooth. And of course, I'm not advocating anybody rob banks. That's not cool. But yeah, he just went through a couple of the like scenarios and things like that. One time, the cops were sort of onto him. Like he hit up one place, it didn't go well, so he sort of took off. And by the time he sort of comes back around, there's cops there, but he's got his bag of McDonald's. He figures like, well, maybe I should just call it quits for the day. It's nothing but cops around, all in the subway. Like he gets down there, the train must have just left, so there's a cop there. So what he does, he just takes his bag of McDonald's and sits down next to the cop and starts eating like Chad as fuck, smooth as hell. like a guilty person, a bank robber's not gonna do that. So dude was hella chill with it. Yeah, he was just too good at it. Very interesting fella. He's got to be young too. They mentioned his age. Maybe it was like 22 at the time, so he would be older than that now. But he didn't mention like at the time he had a daughter. He did have a child. Didn't mention being married. He just had a child at the time, and I guess the child was brought to visit him when he was locked up for it was just a year or something. Because he sat for a while before he even got sentenced, and I know if you sit in jail, that kind of counts towards your time served. So he's in jail, but he doesn't have a bad time because he wasn't being a dick and he's just doing magic tricks. And so the other guards think it's cool. And so they're taking him to other wings, like, hey, you want to do magic tricks for like over here? This other ward area? And he's like, yeah, sure. So they're like, here's these coins, make them disappear. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, give the bank robber money to make disappear. Of course, it's gonna fucking disappear. You're never gonna see it again. But he said, he's like, hey, if you're not a dick, you're not gonna have a bad time. And he just sat and served his time and just, thought. And so when he got out, he sort of had his shit together and maybe he decided to stop robbing banks. It seems like he's living all the way in California now. Maybe he had to move across the country to get a bank account. But he did mention that he's got something like 4 kids with this chick that he's not married to. But then he said she's some kind of like she's like a pastor's daughter. But then she's also has 4 children out of wedlock, so that explains that. And then he mentioned something about he's atheist, but he wants to be on the same page as her. So he read her religious book 3 times through. So now he wants to come back on, quite frankly, and discuss religion. And I really want to hear people discuss religion from an like who are not in it. You know, from his atheist point of view, how does a religious book make sense to him? I would be very interested in that because he seems like a smart guy anyway. It's not just like, oh, he's interesting because he robbed some banks. He just seems like a smart guy. But the fact he's a magician, I would never want to meet him just because I don't need my stuff getting stolen. I've got enough problems. Uh, it was cool. It did start to get a little bit lonely in the chat room because I know there had to have been, I think whoever, I was in the chat room with somebody else. They asked me how many people were watching, and I just glanced over there, and it was maybe 511 watching. But I was watching too, so that doesn't mean there were 511 people in the chat room. And I just can't use that room because there's those animated emojis you can't get rid of, so it sucked to miss out on what other people may have been saying because there was a lot to discuss. So that felt really lonely. And then Frank later on, like this gets way towards the end of the interview, and that was when Frank was mentioning he's off today. And it's something about I thought he like just on purpose just put that show on Pilled and Rumble, and then he started talking, and I thought he was saying there was a technical difficulty, but no, that's not it at all. It was specifically on those platforms because what he's going to start doing is answering the phone. Um, hello? Oh. Hey, can you hear me now? I can hear myself talking through the stream.
That was a joke there next to it.
Okay. I hear no. It's what it is.
I played the stream into the phone to mock the people that do that the first.
Oh wait, hold on, Frank. Let me find the mute. Hold on. And then he has to hang up on him. It's nerve wracking to call into the show.
So I figured I'd do it on yours too. Play the stream into the phone. Hello, is this Frank?
Yeah, we owe you, Bill Cooper.
How you doing tonight?
What now?
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I'm just sweating balls a little bit. We owe you, Bill Cooper wanted to know if it's King. Yeah, that's King 40.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You made a comment in the chat room, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't get nervous. This is nothing bad. When Frank announced Leonardo coming on, and I endorsed it, you said, it's King's fault if Leonardo ain't funny. Your thoughts? You gotta admit, the broad is funny as hell.
She was based as hell. I've never heard another chick speak that way. I was like, damn, let her keep going. Shoot.
Right. But she's funny, though, too. I don't know if you've watched any of her comedy, but it's great. It's pissing your pants laughing. Excuse my language.
That's okay. I have not, but considering she's so based, I would check out it. If you find a good video of hers, send it to me. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to check out her comedy. She will have you laughing your ass off. I'm telling you.
Yeah, if that's her frame of mind, she's got to have jokes. Yeah.
Well, she's got some great jokes. But I digress. I just wanted to check in, make sure you was okay, and I just wanted to say it's King's fault if she's not funny, and she is funny. I ain't saying I ain't saying that in a confrontational way. Please don't take it that way.
Oh no, yeah. I
Uh,
want to see her on again.
she's great.
She's very
She's great.
like just her and Frank going back and forth for 2 hours. That would be a great show.
You know, it was funny too. Like when I had that T-shirt made up,
Yeah.
and Frank sent it to him by text, I had no idea. And like somebody X Black in the chat room was like, "You know, you're on her Twitter now," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
But nah, she's. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to start a Twitter account now.
Oh, I don't know.
Gonna have
Oh
to.
no, that could be. That, I probably will have. To. I had one, and then I got rid of it because it's just it just turns into a cesspool sometimes. Next to
It's more for
you know,
following. Don't sit there and read it. Just say what you gotta say. Follow your account you like, and just go to another website.
yeah, I had one during uh, the first Trump term,
Yeah,
and then it just got so ugly. It just disgusted me. Like, really, this is what you people do. This is disgusting. I can't be a part of this. This is gross.
it's yeah. That's how I feel. I spend more time DMing people on Twitter than like looking through Twitter. It's mostly for following Frank and Grace Still Plays and tweeting out my own show.
Gotcha. So listen, I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. I just wanted to check in. Have a great show. You take care of yourself, Mixter, and I will be tuning in for the rest of the show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye bye. Thank you. I don't know how to use a phone. Thanks for calling in, King 40. I'm glad I had the volume up. Awesome. And what's up? I saw Russell come in and Poo Poo. And I guess Max says hi from over at Frank at the he's watching the episode I just told you about. It's cool after the fact. Oh hell yeah, we owe you. Bill Cooper said they're lurking and listening a bit. Burgers to make. Fuck yeah. I remember the last burger I had. I just don't remember when that was. I think it's been about a year ago. Burgers. Yeah, so what Frank's doing now, it's on purpose. He is purposefully doing, because he mentioned before he was going to have things going on for Saturdays. That's what this is going to be going on from now on. He's going to have, it seems like every other Saturday he's going to be on. But then the following Friday he'll be off. And then YouTube he will premiere what was on Rumble and Pill the Saturday prior, if that makes sense. And this is he said it's for the summer, but this is Gemini and Gemini is spring. So I get the feeling that this is going to be continuing until New Year's Day, which for me is in October. Yes, that will be the fall. But I get the feeling this is just going to be the pattern for the rest of the year. And while I did think, yeah, maybe on the one hand I could, of course, go to the Saturday shows, but it wouldn't make sense to then go to the Friday. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to be sitting, quite frankly, right now watching a premiere when I saw it a week ago when I could be live. Like that's the point, to have something live between 7 and 9 p.m. Like I understand what a premiere is. I understand that's like a new video to some people, but it's already happened. So and I would feel bad just sitting there watching something I saw before when I could be live. I would it would just feel weird to not be have something live at 7 p.m. on a Friday. I don't know. I'm going through it hard enough, so I don't know how to I don't know what that would do to me. Russell, yeah, some people can't handle change well. Signing off pattern. Yeah, same. Erica, yeah, live is better. Yeah, what's up, Erica? Thank you. Yeah, that too. I can't, it's not that I didn't enjoy the show. I enjoyed it very much. I would like to, there's no reason why. It's so good. I might sit and watch it on my own again. And I do realize there's a live chat room for a premiere and that there was live talking. I do understand all of that. I've had a week to process this and let it all crash down on me, whether I wanted it to or not. So I was just slightly concerned. Like, yeah, we get the Saturday content and that's fine, but I just like I know I'm gonna miss out on a little bit here because there are people who maybe don't catch the Saturday shows. So folks are gonna be, quite frankly, watching the Saturday show because it's new to them. I'm not gonna knock them for that. Like, of course not. It's just I'm just like competing more for the same audience. It's sort of like doctors and chiropractors. They're both like competing for the same sick people. Poo Poo said I didn't know you had a show. Yeah, it's been going on for a year. I just go live. I'm usually live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Sometimes earlier. It just depends whatever Frank has going on. And then Monday through Friday, I'm live at 7 p.m. for balcony chat only when Frank's off. So if Frank was live right now, there's no way I'd be doing a live show and I could be it, quite frankly. That's another reason why I'm so pissed off. I think I'll get to that when it happened. Uh, it's a little show. It's just for Moon Bunny. Yeah, a year already. Yeah, it was because I started doing live shows on May the 8th, and then Frank took his May week off last year. So I put up a poll like, "Hey, do you guys want me to go live when Frank's off?" And a few people said yeah. So I started going live just whenever Frank was not on, and that's been the theme ever since. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, Fourth of July, your New Year's Day, all of that I've been live for. I went live on my birthday because it was a Saturday. Frank takes the second week of October off, so I end up going live the whole week leading up to my New Year's Day, plus New Year's Day. This year, so the one for next year in year 26. That's a Saturday anyway, so I'll be live for that too. There's not a day I wouldn't go live on. I would even go live on Halloween, and that's the worst day of the year for me. That's when my friend passed away, and that's why I'm like this now. Oh, Poo Poo said my birthday is May 8th. Cool. Wow. Nice. That's like a day before. It's funny because May 9th is a holiday for me, so is May 11th. But right in between that, May 10th, that's my chiropractor's birthday, so I can't forget that. And it's slowly starting to seem like I know what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't know if it quite exactly Frank said it at that Saturday show or if he's said it through the week, but get used to it now. About every other Friday, he's taking off because he'll have a premiere on his channel, but he will not be live, roughly every other Friday because now his daughter has been out of college for about a year now, so she works part-time on the weekend. So the only time he gets to see her, if he wants to spend any time with her, is on Friday. And it's just, it's summertime. He wants to go out while it's nice, do stuff with the family. So it makes sense. Plus, she can drive now, so he can just, sit back and kick it and let her do all the work. And they can, I don't know, get ice cream or play Doom. I don't know what families do together. So that's what that's about. But I just figure since it's starting in spring, there's no reason why, and it's called, summer Fridays off. There's no reason why it's going to stop when summer ends. It's like school when they say you get out in the summer and go back in the fall. Bullshit. We get out in the spring and go back in the goddamn summer. And don't learn shit. Arden said, it does seem like that, Nikki, you know what you're doing. Yeah, it all sort of comes together. I still have not learned. I don't. I knew it before. I knew it back when I was on Facebook that this is left and this is right. For you guys. And I don't. Somewhere in my head it got. I unlearned that. That's no good for being on camera. Oh, King 40, the top hat is a good look, Nickster. Thank you. I should have been wearing this before. Oh, so folks know who I am. It was a gift. Yeah, the Monday show on June 9th. Actually, June 9th was the day that's when I went and put Carlin on my handle. So I've had Nikki M. Carlin as a handle for over a year now. And you would not imagine the stress that I was under on it would have been June 10th last year because I show up with a new handle after being Nikki M for about 3 years, and I never had to be more myself for about a week than at any other time in my life online because, it's like they're like, Nikki? Like, with the top hat? Are you the same? And, like, I don't think some people believe me right away. I was not expecting that. It's like, ooh, I can't like change up anything I say now or it'll be way too sus. So yeah, I had to really be on it for about a week there. Good times. Can't believe that was a year ago. But yeah, the Monday show, that's when Frank was saying he's off every other Friday. So that just means I'm on every other Friday. So that's good. I went ahead today and looked all the way up until New Year's Day for anything he has on QuiteFrankly.tv. He doesn't have all of like his days off in there yet. The one thing that I did schedule off, I know he always takes the 4th of July off, plus it's a Friday. There's no way he's going to do a show that day. I've already got it marked down that I'm going live that day. He doesn't have it on Quite Frankly TV, but I think after showing up to his show for 10 years, that's one pattern that's going to stick. Oh, Poo Poo says, I like the top hat. Thank you. Dandy, a year already? Damn, I know, right? I'm like, wait, June 9th, what did I do in this day last year? Oh my God. 3 emails to Pill. They still didn't get it right, but they helped out. We had some great calls on the Monday show. There were a few of them, but one of them was this lady. And it was like everybody who called in, like they sounded American, sounded just like us, but they're like, yeah, actually, I came here from, another country, or maybe they're second generation, just from elsewhere. But their parents or they themselves, like they never did the welfare thing, that they never asked for handouts, they worked a job or two, that they got their shit together, they learned English. And then they're like, just to have all these, people coming over here now and get it all handed to them. They're like, no, F that. And this one chick, based as hell, she said, cut their funding, they'll all go home. But girl, I could hug you. No homo. But it's true. Well, watch all the welfare queens dry up when there's no WIC and food stamps at the first of the month. And then, like, you can actually shop in Walmart during the first week of the month. And I know Walmart's bad considering, what Frank's brought up on the news, but I can't afford to shop at Whole Foods unlike some people. I think I've only been in one time. And then I was watching folks. What the the hell was I watching? It's like people go into grocery store. Maybe they were comparing prices. It's like, yeah, that might have been what it was. It's like just people go to say like the Dollar Tree and try to like make a meal $20 versus I don't know Whole Foods. You try to make a meal $20. You walk out with one bag of pasta. But I guess they just something about Whole Foods that they crank the music way the fuck up. I don't know if it's like that all the time. I don't know if it's because somebody's in there filming and you're not allowed to film in there. But if you've ever been to a head shop, they play their music unreasonably loud. It's worse than a head shop. Poo poo said I live at Walmart. It just well. Oh, trust me, they've got expensive food you can buy there. John Rogers, Aldi's is like Whole Foods. Yeah, Aldi's was supposed to be like a sort of air quotes cheaper place, but like now they've got wine apparently. I haven't been in there so long because their customers are dicks. I would have my one item and the bitch with the WIC card and a mountain of food up over the top of the basket would not let me past her to buy my one item. So I just set it down and leave. I don't need it that bad. Raw for the basics, Aldi's is easy in and out. We're getting a Sprouts here and a Buc-ee's. Okay, I've heard of both of those. Wally World said I like Costco free samples and a $1.50 jumbo hot dog and drink. Hells yeah, they still have that. Yeah, you want to see rioting? Watch them like get rid of that Costco deal, and people will flip the f out. But great calls on the Monday show, and then Frank takes a call from Ross Soul says Sprouts is like a Whole Foods. All right, it sounds like a UK version. Actually, spoilers for Turn Washington Spies. You wouldn't know this unless you watch the show. This is not a huge spoiler for the show. I just think it's so cute. But the main character, he calls his son, who's like just learning how to walk. Like his little nickname for him is Sprout, because like he's a farmer. So I think that's just so adorable. I'm in Ohio. Poo Poo is asking. Russell's in Central Florida. Florida man. But yeah, Frank takes a call from Jim in Maine. What? Who the fuck is? And then the guy starts talking. Wait, you mean fucking Jim Zell? Like half of the Zells up in Collinsport, Maine? Make a bigger deal about it. But that was that was Jim Zell. That's Frank Zell's human brother. I don't know. Like we've never seen them in person, so we can't tell. But I'm pretty sure Frank Zell is a cat, and then they're twins. So Jim Zell logically, I mean, again, I don't know, haven't seen him, but he called up, and Jim Zell is usually like the even, like he's not monotone, but he's not like Frank Zell. Like if you give him long enough, not even that long, the man just gets excited and just gets loud and like the accent, like he's fun to listen to. But Jim Zell, he's just more calm about everything. But whatever he was talking about, he was just getting a little bit more amped up. And maybe it made his accent come out a little bit more because he's lost a lot of that accent. But that's when he started to sound more like Frank Zell, like, now I'm starting to hear it. Because when you hear them talk, like they really don't even, like you wouldn't know they were brothers just from hearing them talk because one sort of lost the accent and one just, didn't. John Rogers, gas was $2.87 a gallon at Sam's Club today. What did I pay for gas last time? Like $3.16 or something. I don't. It's sad. I put in $20. I had half a tank. I put in $20. I filled it up all the way. That's fine. But every once in a while, I think back to my first car, how $20 used to fill it up. It's like, oh well, at least I have the money for gas. Count your blessings. Just go home. But yeah, 8:03 p.m. Jim Zell called in. Great call. And I was like, is Frank Zell gonna call in 20 minutes later? But he didn't. He didn't. But that's when Robert Phoenix was on. I guess he's an astrologer, but if he said his birthday, I've forgotten it. Russell 293 Murphy's today. That's not so bad. Like around here, gas should not be up over $3 until tourist season, and it is technically tourist season. But Robert Phoenix has a neon sign. He's got a brick wall behind him, like he's doing stand-up comedy. But then he's got a neon sign behind him that's so neon you can't read it. I don't know if you remember before Frank had that moon there, he had that it's all like it was just a dream or it's all a dream, that sign. It used to be too bright, so he had to put something dark behind it so we could read it. Robert Phoenix does not know that. He's just got this bright neon sign. I'm not going to bother reading because it's so bright. Like it just bleeds together and becomes white. It's that bright. And it sounded like his voice was just booming into the microphone. He wasn't like, projecting, he wasn't yelling at us, but it was like, I don't know if it's a plug-in setting. Somebody mentioned, maybe it was because like he's just in a room that's just so, maybe it's like a hallway and that brick wall is so close, so like his voice is coming out, maybe hitting the wall in front of him, like hitting the wall behind him, hitting the microphone and just making it too much. Like, oh, maybe he should hang up a sheet like I do. Couldn't hear him. It was too boomy. It was hurting my ears. Had to turn it way down. Loud AF. So I couldn't tell you what he was talking about. Moon Bunny, there's a Circle K every quarter mile in Arizona. Oh, damn. We do have Circle Ks. Yeah, Brother Zoe, not Satan. Yeah, not today, Satan. Russell, like Ashton Forbes, but it's F, or it's a four ORBS. I remember that guy's name. He wore glasses, sort of looked like the character Michael Weston, Jeffrey Donovan ish. That's all I remember. Poo Poo said I worked at the Circle K in Flagstaff. Is that Florida as well? Why do I know that word? Tuesday, June 10th. That was Tony Black's birthday. And Judy Garland, but you stop, getting older after you die. But Tony Black, he's 95. Frank tweeted out this picture of him at the beach. I don't know if that's like, was that picture taken that day? That dude's in better shape than I am. Holy shit. Poo Poo was in Arizona. Okay, that's why Arizona. Ah, they're both hot. Russell, Circle K is in Florida. They must be around because if they have them up here, unless it's like an East Coast thing. Michael, the greatest truck stop showers in the U.S. are in Flagstaff. Thanks for that information. I love the way Arizona people just lord it over everybody else during daylight savings time, so they don't have to put up with that. Like, oh, you don't know what time it is? We don't have that problem here. Now, Frank mentioned this on the Tuesday show, something about tag Keto Brains with your review of their product, and they will send you a bag of Keto Brains. So I had done a review of it back on April the 12th here. And so I just, at the time, I just tagged Keto Brains. I'm just like, I just said, hey, I, did a review of this on my show. and I just kind of forgot about it for 24 hours. And then I looked it back up again. And she had Molly. She had answered back like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you did this. That's so cool. You're awesome." And I thanked her. I'm like, "Yeah, it was a while ago, and I didn't tag anybody at the time. It was 2 months ago. I can barely remember that back that far." Now I'm sure what they wanted is just something short and sweet that they can just like maybe like use on their website or just something cute for them to watch. But I'm not in that headspace to do that. So I just sent the whole show. Yes, I got a tweet back. That's all I've heard from it. I had to delete the tweet because if you tag somebody in a tweet, it hangs out at the top of your page, and I don't like that. So I deleted it, so it's not up there anymore. Poo Poo said, "That's true. Little America truck stop in Flagstaff." Michael said, "Yep, that's the place." Millions of lights in the winter. Oh, man. Is it like that scene from The Prestige? No spoilers? That's what happened. They brought up The Prestige again on Saturday, and all I've been doing is kicking myself for not doing a full review of that movie. And right now, I just want to drop a bunch of F bombs, but that's not very classy. I'm just thinking it very hard. Moon Bunny, I thought I won a bag of Keto Brains yesterday, and quite frankly, but it was a book. No clue how I mixed that up. Yeah, it was like a few different packages of like stuff he was giving away. Like what one was like honey and 2 cups and something, and then the other one was like a book and a CD, like set the charge, like an actual physical copy. And I told myself, okay, if I do get a bag of Keto Brains, I'll let it go about that whole email thing. But that's as far as it's gotten. Nobody's asked me for an address as to where to send it. I know that I can never order a bag from their website again because it's so frustrating, and I've only got about a quarter of a bag left. So if I don't want a free bag, I'm never going to get any more. So we'll just see how that goes. I literally did it expecting to hear absolutely nothing back. So far, I've been right. We'll see. Michael said Colorado Springs gets amazing stars, but nothing like Arizona. That's what I'd like to see, the sky at night without the light pollution. I mean, of course, you can't see stars outside at night. I haven't, looked for a few years because I don't care, but I do know that they are out there. I tweeted the one time there was a full moon and I looked outside and I saw it and I tweeted about it like in April or something. That really happened. Yeah, too much AI. And Lance Lucifer said this because I guess there's air quotes rioting in maybe LA, somewhere in California. It's just a gay pride parade. But Lance Lucifer said only Mexicans would have thought to bring leaf blowers to a riot. uh, I think that was the funniest thing all night. That was great. Oh, cool. Brother Zoe said he's going through Colorado Springs this summer on his cross country Harley tour. Now, Brother Zoe, are you doing? Because I know you must, like low key mentioned, well, like Frank brought up you being there for his meetup in September. Like, are you gonna hold off on your whole like motorcycle trip until later in the summer, or are you gonna do two separate ones? Poo Poo says Flagstaff has lighting ordinances because of the observatories. U.S. first dark sky city. What, like, do they turn off all the lights at night? Like a power outage, but on purpose? Like, I can see it in my head, but I've never. The only time the power goes out is when it's not supposed to, and then I'm just stuck with like the Wi-Fi and my phone listening to Grace Still Plays. Now, since there was stuff going down in California, Maggie Johnson mentioned Carlos in Hollywood. He's called in before. He's the dude that called in like stuff was going so well for him and maybe like 2019, and then stuff fell apart, and he had just bought a house and he had to sell it and move somewhere else, and just like couldn't find work, and he's an actor, and dude was kind of, you know for a while there we had a lot of people calling in crying. It was really bad for him. I'm so sorry. He sounds better now though, because after a while he actually did call in and Maggie started freaking out. I'm like, girl, that's just chat room summoning. We've been able to do that from the beginning. She's like, no, it's a coincidence. I'm like, no, it's we can all do that. You, me, everybody. There's just something about being in the chat room from 7 to 9 p.m. and you're able to do that. Oh, Brothers O September, cool. Because before, like I want to say last year, maybe it was in like when the sun was in Cancer, so he's doing it later on. Michael said, so beautiful to Zoso do. The Garden of the Gods used to be my backyard. What? How many gods? I don't know what was going on. The guess was that Tony Arterburn. He's the one who started the quite frankly .gold. He's his shtick. Like everybody is two things online. I don't know why, but everybody's just two things. Like I'm Nikki, I'm Carlin. I'm also the purple top hat. Frank is also quite frankly stuff like that. Gray still plays. For when he was first starting out, he called himself a silver fox. The dude's always had gray hair. Like everybody's got two names. So like Tony also thinks that he is a wolf, something like that. And then this was like way later on. Yeah, he thinks he's a wolf. So I want him and Michael Collins, the guy with the paw print on his palm. He thinks he's a wolf too. Like get those two guys together at the Frankly meetup, because that's the day before a full moon. We figured that out. Get them both together. They can fight like werewolf fight. That would be interesting. I don't know what Frank has planned, but like if that might be illegal. But I mean, werewolves. Officer, there was magic involved. Poo Poo said to Michael, that's awesome. I spent a month in Colorado Springs and went there too. What is the Garden of the Gods? Is it a garden? Is it a mountain? Is there water? Do you feel different there? Do you pray? Oh, we owe you. Bill Cooper is asking about Zoso. How's he feeling? Had an operation. Yeah, he had to get, like you've seen Terminator 2, so he just got one of those Terminator arms. So when I'm just wondering if his hand is regular. So like when you like don't arm wrestle. I don't know which arm. So don't arm wrestle the guy because he's gonna win. But yeah, he's got like the full on T2, arm. At least the shoulder bit going on. I don't know if they put skin back over it. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, he had that done. So if that dude fucking shoulder checks you, you're gonna know it. Michael said you definitely pray there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Understandable. Like you just get into a place, you feel a vibe, and it's like, I think I need to talk to some other people. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the audio. It sounded like every time the man spoke, like his voice was just being drug. Like take your phone when you're talking and just rub it across the microphone, how that sounds. It was like that. Not quite as bad, but it sounded like his voice was just being drugged across the microphone. It was just grindy every time he spoke. I don't know what causes that. I'm not that great at technology, but again, volume down. Really could not hear much. And he's another one that's got a crooked beard. I didn't even point this out. It's like one side like ends here, and then the other side's down just a little bit. And it's not, it's always these people who go outside. Gamer beards are not like this, but you take people who have beards and do outside stuff and think they're wolves, and suddenly their beard gets this gangster lean to the bottom of it. I don't know why. We owe you. Bill Cooper said, thanks for filling me in. Yeah, it's fine. You just got to go for the like the T2 shoulder thing. I don't know if he has any tattoos, but that would be so funny if you had, like, say, a shoulder tattoo and then you got your arm fucked up. So, like, then they fix your arm, then they gotta, like, cut off that dumbass tattoo. So then you start crying about it. I wonder how that feels like when it heals. Can you pop your neck better? Poo Poo says Manitou Springs. Lots of giant, straight, tall rocks. America the Beautiful was written there. Oh, wow. Yeah, where are all of these beautiful parts of America? So yeah, a werewolf fight between Tony Arterburn and Michael Collins. Don't know when, but that could be fun. I think except for Sunday, every single day I just have been getting bad news or finding out bad things. Cannot make it more than an hour and a half before I want to say fuck it. So like now we're into Wednesday. Michael said, and the crazy natural springs just along the sidewalk. Very cool. Yeah, natural springs. I've seen video of it, like water just coming up out of the ground, like not violently, but I've never seen it in real life. Michael Mountains usually. That's cool. We owe you Bill Cooper. That werewolf fight would be a pick 'em. I don't know who'd win. Like now, I want to like who's like how tall are they? Well, how much do they weigh? Shoe size, all that stuff for science. Garden of the Gods is in Manitou, Manitou Springs, 5 miles from Colorado Springs. Oh, wait, you mean this place is called like name Springs and there's no Slinkies here? What the hell? The guest for the show, again, his last name is Williams. I thought Frank had the bank robber on again. I don't know. I didn't understand. I probably should have paid attention to the avatar, which had, I don't know if that was Pickle Rick, but there was a pickle in it because the guest was Pickle Brandon. This is the guy who I don't know exactly where he lives, but the room he's in, it makes me think of one of those Japanese apartments where you can't even you could not T-pose in your own apartment without turning long ways because you're literally in, it's basically a hallway. There's an upstairs, but you can probably have like one arm like this and your other arm all the way out, and that's all the space you get. So it feels like he's in a room like that. It's at the very base of a narrow staircase, so it gives me anxiety. It's a bright room. Everything's white and light gray, so hat on for that. But I keep getting the feeling, so I finally had to say, like, I feel like somebody fell down those stairs and died. And so this dude bought this house for super cheap, and they didn't tell him why, but there was this mysterious stain on the floor at the bottom of those stairs. And so he thought, hey, this is a great place to put my workstation. Because another reason why it bothers me, it's just the feng shui of it. And feng shui, just think of like the way air moves. That's the way feng shui moves. If the air can't move through, the feng shui can't move through. That's what pissed me off so bad about the house that JonBenet Ramsey lived in. Like, never mind the murder and the clutter, but like if you just strip that house down to the bare bones, which they did in that documentary on Netflix, just the way it was built is so upsetting. I Whoever designed that house and whoever decided to buy that house to live in it have serious problems. It's so upsetting. There's not one room you can be in that house and feel at peace in, because there's no proper doors. Everything's a hallway and staircases and just weird angles. It's terrible. So he's sitting in that room at the bottom of those steps, and on the side of his wall is the giant, like the biggest picture you've ever seen of a pickle in your life. That's why he's Pickle Brandon. I think he wants us to know he's a Rick and Morty fan without telling us he's a Rick and Morty fan. But if he's not a fan, I think he is because of that. Dandy Pickle Boy, LOL. Poo poo, yeah. Japanese have very thin walls made from paper or something. It's just like yeah, you have a two-story house, but it's maybe it's probably not even 6 feet wide. You got your little balcony there. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if it's like say a good price for the area or anything like that. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Brandon does not explain things out very well, and when pressed just a little bit, gets his back up. Take out loans and not pay? Question mark. The higher the interest rate, the better? Question mark. He's not saying question mark. I am. Brandon mentioned about just losing in court, but did not expand on it, and Frank failed to ask. Damn it, Frank Keck. uh, what Brandon did, I think he's done this before. I just can't remember back that far because he's been on this as his third appearance. He sits there with his this is as bad as this is as bad as when you hold your wine by the glass instead of by the stem. He has his like little like tumbler, like proper glass for liquor, but it has writing on it. There's nothing tackier than fine drinking ware, fine glassware, like clear glass, and you have stuff painted on it or etched on it or any kind of like you maybe like a slight bit of just like decoration. Don't say like get married and have to get like both your first names and the date etched on every single glass. That is tacky as fuck. But he's got his glass there that has writing on it, so just no. But then he proceeds to, drink, which would be fine, but then he does what a lot of drunk people do, and suddenly every other word is an F bomb. So you feel like you're watching Quentin Tarantino speak. And he's just getting drunker and dropping F bombs at us. And it starts to make me feel like if you were, like, say, if you had bad parents that just got drunk and yelled at you, it gives me that sensation, and I didn't exactly grow up that way, but it just sort of feels abusive. And then he, like, the first thing he did was come on and be like, "Oh, okay, I can talk until when? What time?" And then Frank told him, and then dude just proceeds to not stop. And someone even said Yeah, Lisa Gray even said, yeah, 12 minutes later. Because, when you start drinking too much and you kind of have to make your point again and again and again, it was sort of feeling like that. And I don't, it just gets to a point where, like, does Frank not notice it? It sort of feels a little bit like he's disrespecting Frank as well as us just by getting a little bit too drunk and a little bit too with the language. It just starts to feel, like I say, abusive. It just starts to feel uncomfortable, and nobody's there to make him stop drinking. Like, there's nobody like behind the camera saying he's had enough. Like, no, none of that. He just keeps sipping, and he just keeps with the f bombs. And the entire show, before the man even came on, I noticed this. Other people noticed this. The volume on the Thursday, Wednesday the 11th was low as fuck. I had to turn it all the way up to 30 to even hear Frank talk. And a lot of other people said it too, so I sent him a DM. But then a Pickle Brandon comes on and his volume's even higher than Frank, and he's swearing at us. I'm not going to listen to that. You're not going to get drunk and swear at me. So I had the volume down on about 10. I really didn't hear anything from anybody because it was either drunk man saying fuck, or like Frank's volume was even lower than that. So I didn't even hear like Frank ask the questions. I just heard the F bombs and saw like the drinking and the writing on the glass. Michael, still towards the middle in Missouri right now. Are you traveling? So I don't really know what Pickle Brandon was talking about. He does seem to spend a lot of time in court. Like he watched Law and Order, and he didn't want to be like Jack McCoy or Lenny Briscoe. He wanted to be like the guy on the other side complaining. Like, this man spends so much time in court. I don't understand how that can be fun for him, but that's what he does. He gets off on fighting issues in court. Again, don't know why. Too many F bombs. Volume was way too low. Did everything I could to get the volume fixed for that show. Nothing was fixed. Poo Poo said, great summer so far, not too hot or humid. That's good. Michael, World War Now is going live right now because of the happenings, if anyone follows them. Michael said, love you, Nikki. Sorry the pickle man cursed at you. It's not that he was swearing at he was swearing at Frank's audience. Like, you think like Frank would be like, hey, can you like, hey, I don't mind if you swear at me, but there's people watching. And it's not even the fact that, because it is an adult show. It is after 6 p.m. People, you should have like an adult, at least be a teenager to be watching, quite frankly. Don't have your toddlers in the room when the show's on live because you don't know what anybody's going to say. And not everybody wants to hear all that kind of swearing. Maybe they're just not in the mood for it. Maybe some people just don't like to hear swearing. I know I swear a little bit too much on here. Sorry about that. I do try to work on it. I know it's not classy. But maybe if folks don't want to see somebody drinking and swearing at them, it's like you're gonna take out the belt next and like yell at us for knocking over the Kool-Aid. Like, why are we getting into a whole scenario thing? But nothing he was saying was making sense. So Max Meek said, It sounds like the guest is using the Chewbacca defense. He should. He really should get up there in court. Your Honor, this is Chewbacca. And if you don't know the Chewbacca defense, oh, what episode of South Park was that in? Something to do with Chef. I think it was the episode when they were discussing the South Park like flag, like the city flag. That might have been it. I still remember it to this day, so I he really should. If you're gonna spend that much time in court, why be serious about it? And anytime Frank gets frustrated with taxes, this is like twice I've noticed he's done this. Cause like everybody should be frustrated with taxes. We know what they pay for. But anytime he brings it up, he's like, man, if I was single and I didn't have to pay for if I was a bachelor, it's got it. Like I'm sure like being taxed and you say own your own business is a whole other ball of yarn compared to like getting a W-2 and doing taxes. So the man does have the right to be frustrated over it. Anybody does when it comes to taxes. Poo poo, not the flag episode. Yeah, South Park. Because I want to say he was defending Chef. Johnny Cochran was. Why would a 6 foot, 7, 8, 9 foot tall Wookiee live on Endor? That does not make sense. But the audio stayed down the entire show, and some folks were hopping in there, and they're like, "Oh no, it's this guy again," and just dipping right back out. So I guess they remember Pickle Brandon better than I do. And one chick in there, she's kind of a regular. She was like, she just wasn't feeling it. She was about to go. The Chef 8 episode, Poo Poo. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad you remember it. South Park's great. But she's kind of a regular, and she was about to dip out too. I was like, oh man, this sucks. And I was just kind of going on just what's ever in my head because I couldn't go on what I was hearing because I could not hear a goddamn thing. But I do kind of like Pickle Brandon, even though if I couldn't, hear anything he was saying, and I can't look at the screen when he's on. But we started being funnier. I mean, we were funny the whole episode, but I kind of like leaned into it a little bit harder since I knew I was only gonna have 4 days that week, so I got to be extra now. But then it got along so long that chick was still there, and eventually I caught her saying she's like, "Yeah, I was gonna leave, but then the chat room was too funny, so she ended up staying for the whole show." That's why the chat room's there. I would say sorry, not sorry, but I'm not sorry. If you don't like what you're watching on the show, it's like when you're watching a TV show and you can't change the channel, so you just start talking to your friend. It's the same thing. That's why the chat room's there. If you don't like what's going on the screen, you can talk about that. You can talk about anything in the world else. We don't have rules like that there. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth and suck them. That is one of the greatest songs. Chocolate salty balls from South Park. Oh man, I love how that starts out. Damn, I love that song. Can't beat old school South Park. So yeah, I don't know how many people like dipped out of that show when they saw Pickle Brandon. I don't know how many people stayed because the chat room is funny AF. I don't sit there and like watch the number of views the whole show and who's in the chat room for the whole show, nothing like that. But yeah, we were being funny as hell. We had a great time in there. John Rogers, even Dilly watches his language on Frank's shows. His own show, he lets loose. Yeah, it's one thing when you're on your own show. It's another thing when you're a guest. It's another thing when you go to somebody else's house or their country, neighborhood, anything. And on top of all of that, it ended early. It ended at 20:56. Ugh. Sorry. Please don't freeze. Computer, thank you. Fans on. Sorry about that. Sorry if it was loud. My bad. What's this? Just a notification I don't need. So, despite the fact I couldn't hear anything, we had a great time at the Wednesday show. That was also Gene Wilder's birthday. That's what that was. Oh, Poo Poo is back. Awesome. Welcome back. No, I didn't want to think of this. I didn't want this realization to hit me. Because back on Saturday, that's when Frank was saying, it's just every other, no, back on Monday, that's when he was saying every other Friday that's going to be a thing. It's just going to be off, spending time with the family. It just is what it is. But, rest assured that he was going to have something premiere at 7 p.m. on Friday on his show. But again, that's just going to be what we saw the Saturday prior. It wasn't even noon yet. It was like 11:30, but between 11 and 11:30. I didn't want to think this. I hate when like suddenly you just think a thought that maybe you should have thunk before, and then it just hits you later, and I don't know. Well, what I realized wasn't even trying to think about this. I forget if I was sober or not. Jenna, lame, right? Was that glad you made it too. It's kind of like I was saying at the start. I realized Thursday, yesterday? That was only yesterday? Yeah, that was yesterday. That we're not going to get another full month of shows for the rest of the year. At least not the rest of my year. And I've got less than 4 months to go. But we'll have like a full, like we just got over Frank being off for an entire week. So like it's not like we got to get a couple of full weeks under our belt and then he's starting this every other week thing. It's just happening. Basically, it feels like right away. So that just means that I will have to be whatever percentage more. Yeah, South Park, yeah, lame, not cool, super lame, totally lame, not cool. I'm just gonna have to be more on at every single show for the rest of the year to get the same amount of fun out of it with a few less days every month. And while this is fun, going live is fun. I do look forward to this. In a strange way, I look forward to doing this more than being in the chat room. But being in the chat room was what I need to stay sane because after doing a week of shows and I haven't, typed it any, like my hand started cramping up. I hadn't typed in a week. So it was that bad. Jenna, he's taking Fridays off because his daughter works on the weekends, so the only time he can spend time with her is every other Friday during the week. During the summer time when it's nice out. Oh no, it doesn't bother my eyes. It's just I was used to it being a J before, so now it's just I don't sometimes I tell my mind to look like Michael's is an M, so I tell myself to look for a letter. And then some people, like John Rogers, is a picture, so I don't tell myself to like look for a picture. I just look for not to look for a letter, to just look for a picture. So all I did was just went from looking for a letter to looking for a picture. So I kind of associate you like not with a J, but like with the color scheme now. So like my head's learning that. Michael said, "You're admirably faithful." Yeah, I am. Oh, no, Peoria Bill Cooper, gross. Hand cramps, get a hold of some pickle juice. Yeah, where's Pickle Brandon? Is he on Twitter? Hey, do you got any? Oh, oh no. And then I went back on my calendar and looked. The last time we had a full solid month of shows when I didn't have to do one extra show was back in March. And it's crazy to think that March was the last time things were great. And then I started reminiscing about how like that's when Mayhem was out, and that's before my knee blew out. And then that's just gonna make me sadder. And I had already hit a break. Like that broke me. I realized that, and I just crumbled. I just couldn't. I was just done. I just heard something snap, and I couldn't anymore. That was it. That was my breaking point. That like just realizing from between now and New Year's Day, I'm never gonna get a full month in the chat room again. And I couldn't. And absolutely nothing got done yesterday. If I did do anything yesterday, I don't remember it. I guess I went to Quite Frankly, and I had to struggle to pull myself to that and just act like I had not thought that thought earlier that day and act like it doesn't bother me as much as it does. But I think I'm starting to move past that and just getting into the anger part. Brandon taking orders, Cat Quioya, Bill Cooper. Jenna typing on mobile. Yeah. Anytime I'm typing on my phone, I always hit the space bar instead of the letter N. Oh, it's terrible. And I think it's the YouTube super chats that are, because this would always happen. I forget what other platform I went to, but it would run down the battery whenever anybody super chatted. Maybe that was Rumble. I think YouTube is doing that as well. So I get these bright colors on the screen and an animation, and then I have to think of things to say to get it off of the screen. That's also not fun. I'm noticing that. But miracle, something good, one good thing happened. Actually, two that day, but the volume was fixed. It was almost too loud. I didn't hear anything back from the DM, but the volume was fixed for the first time all week. I got to hear a show. Just hear it because the guest has everything plugged in their background. Pardon me. And that's rude to Frank's guest. I'm sorry. I'm sick of seeing it. It's been going on for years. If you want to have all that movement in somebody's face for 2 hours, just go fuck yourself. That's rude as shit. I'm sick of seeing it. I don't care how much the electric company sucks her dick. That's just eye strain. That's just disrespectful. Tuning it out. If that's how you want to treat Frank's audience, then I don't think I care about anything you have to say. But the chat room was funny as hell, even though I couldn't see anything. I could hear it. I could hear Frank. And we had a great time. I didn't write down anything. I was having such a good time since now, extra that I have to do because of this now. That means every other Thursday, that's when I'll be in the Twitch chat room because like I can't be there now on a Friday because Frank's not live. So that becomes the Friday show of the week. And then the way it is now is, again, like I said, on Wednesday, I got my adjustment, but then Harry, I'm going live on Friday and Saturday. That's not going to fly with my back and my knee being extra messed up. So now I've got to rearrange my doctor appointment schedule so that I'm getting adjusted on the weeks where we get a full week, so I get more time for my back to heal. And then the short week, that's when I would not have an appointment. So right now I've got to write it out while the sun's in a water sign. And then I'm going to have to go 3 weeks without an adjustment just to get my back appointment schedules to sync up with the time Frank's off so I'm not messing up my back worse. So I can see you guys. Because every single thing that happens, I'm not exaggerating at all. Like I was going to say it before, thinking I was exaggerating, but no, it's true. Every single thing that happens, it's just more work for me. Frank starts tapping on his glass coffee cup with his metal spoon. I get migraines. I can no longer go to the Monday streams. That's just more fun cut off for me. Frank does these Saturday shows that are not on YouTube. I cannot go to Pilled or Rumble because of the animations. So there I am, just stuck on Twitch in a teeny tiny room. Yes, there are people there. It's great to talk to them, but then I'm just wondering about what everybody else is talking about that I know that I can't even, I could not even look over there to see what they're talking about because of the animations. So I'm cut off from my friends there. And then now having these on Friday, of course, again, I will go live on Friday no matter what. I know Frank's premiering stuff, so I know that at the same time I'm doing this, I'm also competing with the show that I sat through almost a week ago, premiering on YouTube. So there's going to be less people here. And I care more about that. I care more about seeing people live than seeing, say, like the number of views and the number of likes after the fact. Even though that is important, like it is important for the channel and for YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Like just me personally, Nikki M. Carlin, I really am more concerned with having fun in the moment with you guys than stats. That's why you don't see an AI chat summary or the heart reactions. I care about your eyes too much and your experience. John Rogers, I hate that the mobile has the 8 above the I. I type H8 instead of HI. LOL. Oh. Yeah, like that sounds like hate. Whoa, what the hell? I thought he was in a good mood. Oh, hi. Oh, it's that, yeah, that's, I can see how that could start a fight or just like, oh my God, are you okay? You said hate. Like I was saying hello. Oh my God. Just Janet used closed captions for the Monday stream and turned volume off. That would work if somebody knew how to read. That would be it's too much on my eyes to read the chat room and then have to read the screen as well. Like it was too much for me to take notes and have the subtitles on for Jabberwocky. My brain can't handle that. John Rogers, Rumble can close the chat and still watch. Yeah, that's what I did. I had because I've got the Rumble app for my TV, so I had like just the show playing, but then I had the chat room for Twitch open. Because the Rumble chat room, it puts like where you type right above there, it's got animated emojis that you cannot, like they're just always there. They're always moving. You can't scroll past them or X them off. William Bill Cooper, Twitch wants more Nikki. Just saying, yeah, I like Twitch. I'd like to be able to be over there more since we're getting less chat room time. in year 25. All of this just makes it harder on myself. I forget when he said this. Maybe this week or the week before, and I think it was Dandy when I brought up the like Frank with his glass cup and his metal spoon that he wouldn't stop tapping on it. I believe it was Dandy who said it. He's like, I sent Frank a box of plastic spoons. So I was like, bless you, sir. And then yeah, because I swear this happened. I brought this up before, but that shirt that Frank's been showing, I guess it's a scene from maybe Goodfellas or something like that. And it, like Matt's in a suit, and then like the other one's Frank, and there's a little lava lamp off to the side, and folks were saying they want to buy it. It is merch. You can get it in black or white, a t-shirt, probably on Rise Attire, but yeah, it's a thing. I would want it in gray, but but yeah. So if you like that, sure, it's available. I don't know what how much it is. I know it comes to, like Frank showed us on. I think he showed us on the Thursday show. I keep wanting to call it the Friday show. This is the Friday show. I like Twitch, but you cannot watch any video about any YouTuber getting in trouble at all without them mentioning them doing something on Twitch and losing their whole account. Like no, like the slightest little infractions on Twitch, and they lose their whole account. It's never a warning. It's never like a suspension for a little bit. They just lose absolutely everything. You're either all the way on or all the way off. There was like no in between. It sounds like you can't fight an issue at all. You're just effed. All right, Attire, BOU Bill Cooper said. Oh, Jenna said, $59.99. LOL. Are you shitting me? I mean, like, I know you're not, but wait, how do I go here? Quite frankly, volume down. Oh, navigating this place. Merch? Apparel? Okay, take me to Rise Tire. Verifying I'm human. No, I'm not going to pass that check. Goodfellas, DTG, unisex cotton tee, $29.95. Yeah, in black or white. From extra small to 3X. And I don't know what shipping and handling for that would be, but that's not a bad price for a merch shirt. JK, yeah, like holy shit. Now for a long sleeve or a hoodie that's merch, you might pay 50 or $60 for it, depending on the merch, the person you're buying it from. Regular clothing, that's a lot. Merch, it's different. It is going to cost a bit more. That's not crazy. That's when you wait for the Black Friday sale and then you get your hoodie. Like if I wanted a Not Today Satan hoodie, it's going to cost more. I would wait for a discount. I think that's just what's been pissing me off lately. It's just these people that are like just running over with Frank's time. They're not giving Frank the time to like say what he needs to say to end his show on time. So sometimes he has to run over. I like sometimes that's not bad, especially now with the way things are set up now. Extra time in the chat room would not be bad. But you can tell, if Frank knew about it ahead of time, that would be one thing. Like when the guy from the radio show and he just kept talking and Frank was just squirming because he just was not. He just, how do you have a radio show and you're not watching the clock? Like, just respect the man's time, because it's not just Frank you're talking to, it's everybody who watches. And like, yeah, there are people who have nothing to do after 9 o'clock. Maybe somebody else has to like go to another show at 9. Maybe they're doing their own show at 9 o'clock. Maybe their husband, wife, whoever gets off of work at 9, so they have to like have dinner like right there. It's like, we don't know. That's why I really want to try to get more. I'm so proud of myself when I can make these 2 hours long. As much as I want to like sit here all night and talk to people, like folks just don't have time like that. Oh, we owe you, Bill Cooper said, I have a few Rise Attire shirts. They hold up very well over time. I wear mine regularly. Very good quality. Yeah, they hold. Yeah, I've gotten a few. Like my No, sorry. I was thinking of actually my two, quite frankly, shirts. I think I got those when he was still on Teespring. But then I got that Zadalza hoodie. I forget if that was Rise Attire or Teespring. They're all cotton though. They are all cotton. Oh, B-Chap, what's up? Glad you made it. Jenna, you'll get an additional tariff fee too. LOL. Oh yeah, take it easy, Michael. Yeah, if you see, that's what they need with that shirt when you get it. Does it have cat hair on it from Matt McCat? Oh man. Poo Poo said I had to work for a while. My boss came by. Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm working, do work stuff, work stuff, work stuff, working, thinking about work. John Rogers, I like the UN shirt. Yeah, I like the uninvolved in peace. No wait, UN Peace Through Terror. I'm thinking of. I found the picture. I'd seen this years ago on Facebook, and then Tumblr being what it is. It's a fate-driven website. You just cannot find anything on it. You just have to think about it and wait for it to show up in your feed. It did. I'll have to share it somewhere. But it's like a UN soldiers. You've probably seen it before. It's this picture is so old. UN soldier standing there with the UN on his hat, and then behind him is one of their signs that says involved in peace, but just the way like the UN is in front of the involved in peace. Great sight gag. I found that. And then something else I sort of mentioned, it's what's been helping me like deal lately, to just like, time needs to pass where I don't think about things like the fact that there won't be a full month of shows for the rest of the year. I wasn't trying to think about that. I wasn't trying to think about anything. But I'm not the type of person whose brain just shuts off. And I told you about the Minecraft, like the ARG, creepypasta type of stuff. So I'm starting to watch like folks play it, and they're playing these like creepy mods and getting scared. And like, all these people are in school. They're like 19 and 22, and like life hasn't ended for them yet, and they still have energy and stuff, and like they probably go outside. Beach app. I also like, quite frankly, shirts got humorous logos. People want to like Frank's like shirts that he wears on his show. People want to buy. If he sold the shirts that he wore on the show as merch, like, yeah, he can make money from it, but I see why he doesn't do it. Like, what if Frank walks into a room and everybody's dressed like him? Then it just sort of takes the like excitement out of the shirt. So I see why he doesn't, and maybe like copyright and things like that. But anyway, what I have been watching is folks playing these like horror Minecraft. It's like a horror mod you add onto Minecraft to make it scary, and they might be like playing it with one of their friends. They might be playing it solo, that sort of a thing. That's what I've been getting into here lately. And then one fella I sort of like, and then he streams with his friend who's just a nut. And I've been looking for their videos so much I just subscribed to them both. And what that did is it got, because the YouTube app on the TV, you cannot get rid of it. It shows you a section for shorts in your subscriptions. You cannot get rid of it. And all that was showing up there were shorts from, quite frankly, from guests that I do not care for. And I hated seeing that on my screen every single fucking day since those shorts have gone up. But I subscribe to these two guys. They have shorts that completely knock that off of the screen, so I don't have to see that when I go to my subscription. So thank you to Sway Lee and Puff. They don't know me. I don't know them. I just subscribed recently, but I'd like to follow their channels more. They every so often they're hilarious. They do good content. Beat Chap, I slept in this morning, woke up around just before 10. Must have been buggered from yesterday. All good. Yeah, you got it out of your system. Poo Poo asking if Norm Macdonald was on Quite Frankly. He was not on Quite Frankly. What happened was at the time Norm was offering like, hey, if you send him like like $50, it wasn't a lot. He would just do like a quick little bumper promo for your TV show, or maybe like you could just give him a few lines of something to say, and he would record it and just say it back. Because he knew he was dying. He did have cancer there towards the end, but he didn't tell anybody because he had cancer before and survived it. He probably didn't want all the sympathy, I'm so sorry stuff. So he was dying of cancer. You did see him get a little bit bigger. It was just from the treatment and all that. But so he knew he was on his way out, so that's something he was doing. He was offering to like, do these little promos for all these channels and all these people everywhere, knowing that's, like that was the last we were going to get of him. Very smart fella. Love him for that. So like, no, he was not on the show. I don't know if he ever watched the show, but somebody had paid him to do that. And then so like right before Christmas one year, Frank premiered that and everybody freaked out. And so, yeah. Gotta love Norm Macdonald. If you can watch bios about this man, dude was so damn smart. Really respect that guy. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Q off shorts. We're shorting you out, Nikki. Yeah, it's just I like stop reminding me of. Oh, we owe you, Bill Cooper said my QF shirts are from the last supplier too. The Frank wearing the Jester hat, I've got that one. Best apocalypse ever with painting shirt. A lot of comments about best apocalypse ever shirt. Keck, yeah, nice. Jenna, right? Frank should auction his shirts that he wears to make money. He could. He really could. Like, hey, do you like this shirt? Do you really like this shirt? How much do you like this shirt? Because on such and such date, like eBay it, like because he's got to be able to like not even often, like maybe just one shirt once a year. Like this is my least favorite awesome shirt. Let me auction this off. Like maybe he's not that hard up for money, but that way somebody can be like, I got the shirt Frank wore. Oh my god. Yeah, so good quality shirts, and like again, like the Quite Frankly merch, the Grace Still Plays merch. That's what this is. This is Grace Still Plays, not Today's Satan. Link in the description. Not affiliated. I just love his channel. Hate one of his editors. Personally, I decided I'm taking that personally. But yeah, 100% cotton. Same with the Quite Frankly stuff. And even with like the Rise of Tire, not Rise of Tire, sorry, but when it was Teespring, it just showed up in a bag. Like that's how merch shows up. It just shows up in a bag, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to wash it and all this. They're like, no, no, like the instructions said, just hang it up and like the wrinkles will come out. And I'm thinking, sure it will. Hung it up, and a few hours later, I'll be damned, they were right. So I don't understand fabric. I don't understand how that works. But it did good stuff. And especially if it's a thicker cotton, too. Like, I realize it's not a sweater. Jenny, yeah, he can't wash it either. The girls would go crazy. Yeah, like Frank could like start selling his like lightly worn clothing to some of his crazier fans. They would like the like only Frank's, but instead of Frank being naked, he's just like wearing shirts that he would like auction off. Will you, Bill Cooper? What price at the QF auction would the blue sweater fetch? Maybe Frank could retire early from it. Yeah, the blue sexual harassment sweater. We're never going to see that again, are we? At least I won't. I wanted him to wear that for my birthday, like back in January. Well, like not on the day because that was a Saturday, but I didn't ask him. I just was thinking it very hard. It's not Saturday, it's Friday. We get to do this tomorrow. So, same thing, except I won't be talking about the everyday last week. I don't know. I can't guarantee that all of these are going to have titles going forward because my brain is just not working anymore. It's just taken too many hits. It's too hard to get any work out. All I've got time for is what I've promised to do on the channel. And I've got less than 4 months in which to do it. But since we get those extra Friday shows, I'll have extra time to do like content. Poo poo, sexual harassment panda. Hey, Panda Bear. We don't take kindly to your taps around here. That was now Skeeter. He ain't hurting nobody. No, I got a question. Jenna, yeah, he has to model it with no pants. See, that's the thing. Like he's wearing the shirt, but you can just see him from the back, so you can like, hey, I think I can see some ass in this picture. Is there like a 3D model of this? Can you turn around? That's how we can do it. Yeah, well, we'll have to. Maybe somebody can call into quite frankly and ask about what the blue sweater would go for. See if you can get him to wear it for again this winter because it's been 2 years, 3 years since we've seen it. I really don't remember. Um, it wasn't last year. Possibly the year before, maybe the year before that, but it happened. It's a sweater, so yeah, that's why I say I'm not going to see it. It's this year because it's the year ends in the fall. So unless we have a very cold fall like we did 2 years ago, I don't think I'm going to see that shirt again. But you can still ask him to wear it. Like ask him to wear it for maybe Thanksgiving or before Christmas or something like that. That would be funny. I wish you would wear it again because we just spent the whole show sexually harassing that man. I know that's bad. You're not supposed to do that, but it's different. He likes it. He can take it. Yeah, it was great to. Oh, my voice cracked. I think my balls dropped. We owe you. Bill Cooper said, I will guess 2022 for the blue sweater. Yeah, probably. Something like that. Wasn't last year. Was it the spring? I don't know. I'm thinking too hard about it. Oh, cool. Jenna said I may be driving to Delaware tomorrow and may not be on your channel. That's okay. Yeah, I enjoyed Delaware. Is that one of the teeny tiny ones? It's like literally the size of your. Maybe I'm thinking of Rhode Island. Wait, Delaware. Delaware's that one off to the side. I learned where that was like 2 years ago. But yeah, it was great to see everybody. I'm glad folks had a couple of extra hours. Yeah, Jenny, yeah, autocorrect. Bill Cooper, spring. Yeah, yeah, because I don't think it was the middle of winter. And then I was thinking, hey, we can see this again another time, right? And Frank's like, oh, it's his wife got it for him. Yeah, if you see that again, take a picture. But yeah, smash the like button on your way out. You can leave your pants on the floor if you're going to be right back here tomorrow. That is totally cool. Nobody should trip on them or spill anything on them. We won't sell them. I hope everybody had a good time. I had a great time seeing you guys. I know it was only 4 days, but it felt like a very long week. But this will be cool. We'll get into it. We get an extra like extra long weekend sort of with each other every other week. We'll get what it is, we'll get used to it too much and then we'll like stop and we'll start getting full months and be like, William Bill Cooper said, great to hang with you guys. Take care. Good night. Yeah, good night to you too. Thanks for hanging out. B-Chap, catch you on the flip side. Poo Poo says, great time, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Thanks for showing. I have a great time because you guys show up and have a great time. So it's all your fault. We have such a good time. We don't mean to enjoy each other's company, but we do. And thank you to I'm up to like 240 subscribers. That's a new high for this channel. So thank you to you guys. We owe you. Bill Cooper says, stay close to home, everyone, tomorrow because they're having a lot of gay pride rallies tomorrow. So be careful if you do go out. Stay away from those places. Jen Rogers, have a great night, everyone. Have a great night. I love you guys. Stay frankly, stay based. Keep your notifications on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys more this year. I would not have expected Frank to be taking extra time off, but that just means we still get to see each other, so no worries. I want to go to this was a good time, Nikki. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. William Bill Cooper 240. That's great. Yeah, yeah, new time, all-time high 240. So yeah, I'm glad 240 people dig the channel. I would subscribe too, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm not one of those subscribers, unfortunately, even though I do like the channel. So thanks for subscribing to Nikki M. Carlin for me since I can't. And thanks for being around. You guys make all of the bad stuff worth it. If we can all make it to 7 p.m. every night, we can get through it. Dandy says meow. Yeah, meow to Matt McCat. I can't end my show if I can't reach the button. There we go. So yeah, stay sexy, take it easy, get some good sleep, get something to eat, drink some water, smoke out on the balcony, have a steak, keep your head on a swivel. Don't party with people you don't know. Always pass to the left. Until next time.